streaming now. Beautiful. And back to you guys. We got it. Always tech, and especially in the morning on an eclipse, a little bit slower to get it rolling, right? Welcome, welcome, welcome. As all of you know who are here, and for those of you coming in on the stream, I'm Kari Caldwell, and this is the Unveiling meditation and a special opportunity for us to connect today live on this solar eclipse. It is April 30th, the last day of the month, and so much astrological energy has been happening, has been playing out, that I have yet to find anyone who is not like just trying to peel their skin off, almost like feeling like our skin could be peeled off just to shift the energy. And as of this weekend, we are going to shift out of whatever this kind of feeling and sensation has been. I know it's been coming in waves. Everyone I've been talking to, all of the other people that are out doing work in this field are seeing it with their clients. It's just been a rough couple of weeks. So we are here today. Collectively, we are going to shift it. As a group, we are going to ride the wave actually and call in the shift and the energy together, and also take advantage of what the solar eclipse has to offer us. As I said in the post, there is essentially the way an eclipse works, at least with the solar, and it's a partial. It's not the north nodes of the moon aren't quite fully lined up, so it's going to be a partial eclipse where the moon is passing in between the earth and the sun. Pretty sure I said that right. And with that, what happens is a total interruption in the magnetic field. And so if we have this aura, if the earth has an aura around it, this layer of protection, when an eclipse happens, it's like an interruption. It's like a wave of energy that comes through and opens the door, opens the gateways for new energies to be experienced. Or another way to think about it would be for stellar energies, depending on the language you like to use, other entities, other energies from space to come through and to give us new perspective, new insight into how we are connecting with the world around us. And I love to pull my astrology and always credit where I'm tapping into a lot of this. I am not an astrologer. I work off of a lot of this from different reports I've read, Kai Pacha being one of my favorite ones. And so he has, if you're interested in more of diving into the astrology more deeply, please kick over to his site, because he does a beautiful job of setting this up and explaining like the real impact of it. For me, I like for us to connect in and actually feel it in our bodies, because that's really what the ancients were doing. It wasn't that they had this book of wisdom that was understood. Their bodies were much more fluid, much more connected to the overall environment and the world around them. So when those priests and priestesses at that time, who were charged with tuning into the environment and reading the signs and the what was shifting and happening in the world, they would connect in and they could feel. In the same way we feel the people in our room, in our environment, in our home, they could feel the shifts of energy. So when they looked at, for example, the planet Pluto, which we're going to be tapping into for meditation today, they felt that overwhelming energy coming from the cosmos, coming from the sky when Pluto was in an active position like it is right now. And so that's what we get to tap into, is those feelings inside of us. And I think it's potent and powerful, because we're living in a time when that inner guidance is really needed. And to add like the cherry on top of the cake with this astrological event today is that not only is it a solar eclipse, but we also have what's called a stellar happening out in Pisces with, I believe it's 6 or 7 planets that are queued up out there in Pisces, Venus being one of them. She's got a couple of conjunctions. Venus is the planet of our intuition. She's conjunct Jupiter as of today. She was conjunct Neptune yesterday. And then on Monday, she's moving to be sextile Pluto. So that big, strong, powerful alignment. And representative of our inner intuition. So not only is that stellar and all of these planets kind of dancing around in Piscean energy, which Piscean energy is our inner healer. It's that desire to pay attention to the collective as a whole. We also have Pluto going retrograde, and we're going to feel into Pluto a lot, because we've essentially been tracking the Earth and Pluto All right, so sorry about that. Does everyone see what happens when you start tapping into Plutonian energy? Interruption, bomb throwing, like Pluto will. So the moment we tapped that, it fully fried the ethers. And it's also part of what this eclipse is, and what is unique to this eclipse, and that is the Uranian energy. This eclipse, the solar eclipse, we are conjunct with Uranus. The eclipse is happening in conjunction with Uranus. So eclipse energy, what is it? It is purely, you could describe eclipse energy like you would describe Uranian energy. It is the wild card, out of the blue, like instantaneously things can happen. And if we're tracking with our lives, if we're aware to the present moment and doing the work that's being called in, typically those Uranian energies are going to be, we're going to be ready for it, right? We're going to be ready for those changes. We're going to be ready for that sudden influx of someone new, something new, whatever it may be, the interruption, right? If we aren't tracking with it, and we've got a lot of work to be shifting around, then Uranus can come in and it can be the, oh shit, like what just happened? What did I do? All of this is happening at the completion of a Piscean cycle that, again, all of these planets in the stellar, as well as a few others, which again, I don't want to spend all of our time speaking to the astrology, but we are completing a cycle running through Pisces that has been the clean up and clear out cycle. So we had a big ramp up, build up, a lot of beautiful, powerful energy through February, which took us into the mother, which took us into that inner space of clean up, clear out, as all of these planets have been playing around over there in Pisces, and all the shift, the total shift for the year and the beginning of the eclipse season is starting today. And we are now shifting into what are we going to do with this new foundation? It's a lot. And if we harness this Uranian energy, it's a lot of like, okay, let's just be ready for it. What's new? What can come fast? Let's make it happen. Again, but the presence to it. So I think that's enough talking on my part. And I would love now for us to be able to drop in, connecting. Our goal today is connecting with these inner energies of the cosmos, as well as, again, it's happening in Taurus. The solar eclipse is happening in Taurus. Taurus is our body. And so how can we take the cosmic realm and everything that is being experienced there and bring it in to our bodies and interpret it from that intuitive perspective, get golden nuggets of insight and information available for us as we shift through the times of change. With that being said, taking a nice deep breath in, and just allowing yourself to tune in to the moment, to tune in to the environment around you, to feel the connections as you tune in, to feel the connections. What connections become present to you first and foremost? What connections begin to show up as you're tuning in? Feeling the connections, connection to the chair or the earth beneath you. Again, as we tune into our inner wisdom, it's always about allowing the subtle energies to begin to experience, for us to begin to experience the subtle energies and express themselves. And so, what sounds in your environment do you hear? Allowing those, even if they seem loud and clamorous, very Uranian, allowing those noises to all be part of the field, part of the extension of the experience that your energy body is moving through, part of the interruption in the flow, in the patterns. Our goal today is to just make our bodies the biggest, most beautiful antennas we can, to feel the extent that your body is an antenna, to be able to capture some of those new stellar inspirational energies and draw them in, allow them to ground themselves in your body. So continuing to breathe as you tune into these different connections, the sounds, now the feel, tuning into the feel of the air as it comes in through your lungs, being exhaled out. Couple more breaths here, just focusing specifically on the breath. Notice if it's deep for you or shallow. Again, breathing in and out, allowing the sensation of the rise and the fall of your chest to be what you focus on next. Just feeling your body today. Interruptions in your body. You may be drawn towards symptoms or sensation, pangs. Again, it's Uranian energy. There can be interruptions in the field or in the body that are here to slow us down. And that's awesome too. Just allowing for all of it to harmoniously flow, for your mind to open, again, to these subtle vibrations of intelligence and wisdom. And so as you follow the sounds of my voice and the environment around you, I invite you first, as we always begin our meditation, to start with a light link, bringing middle finger to thumb and extending your consciousness up into that soul star chakra, about 8 to 12 inches just above your head, feeling it turning on, feeling the glow of the sun as it captures the sun, shining down and through into your body. And for those of you, some of you may notice today that as you tune in and imagine the sun, every day we draw our awareness to how it can be different, how the sun as you imagine it, whether it's just stepping out into it for the first time each day and feeling your eyes flooded with its presence, or actually seeing the chakra and feeling a beam of light shining down upon you, or warmth against your skin. As you breathe in and out, just notice today as we experience a shift in the magnetic fields, the eclipse of the energy, allow yourself to tune into those subtle vibrations. Imagining the sun being eclipsed, recognizing that you may, in fact, you aren't making this up if the energy appears different, that you truly are intuiting the energies of this eclipse. So powerful, so incredibly powerful. And so as you breathe in and out, beginning to shift your focus into your inner realm. Solar eclipses in particular empower us to see energy that is more challenged to be seen in the fullness, in the light of the sun. In other words, we have shadow, we have darkness in our bodies always. And when we remove the source of that light, when we dampen it and allow it to come through in a different way, it illuminates some of those shadows within the body in a different way, allowing a lightening, a releasing to occur. And so as you drop deeper and deeper in, taking a nice deep breath and a nice big exhale, allowing the sun and these illuminated spaces of darkness to take on a gentle glow as we shift into our bodies and into the earth for the second part of our light link. Again, just being present to the sensations and the feelings, whatever your mind's eye may be kicking up as you breathe in and out, observing your inner nature, observing the subtle energies within your body, noticing how today your mind is interpreting. Maybe it's very physical. Maybe it's very touch oriented. Taurian energy is very touch oriented in its nature. Again, breathing in and out and dropping our focus now down into the earth and feeling those connections to the solidness of the earth, to gravity, to the journey that you have walked. Go ahead and trace your steps backwards from this moment and where you are to where your day began. And maybe for some of you, there aren't any steps yet. Just go ahead and trace backwards as though we're winding back down the spiral. Where were your steps? Where did they guide you? How did the earth feel beneath your feet? Was it soft on the carpet, cool on a tile or marble floor? Tracing those steps backwards. Allowing yourself as you do to go deeper and deeper in. And as we do, shifting into our intuitive water energy. Imagining the flow of water around you. For this is the play. As our insight opens deeper, the two types of intuition that we experience, the solar parts of our body, much more in the upper chakras, the fiery, intuitive energy that just drops ideas and wisdom and awareness and insight in, so rapid fire sometimes that you can barely process or keep up with it. And then as we shift into the body, the watery intuition, the rhythm and the flow of water as it passes around us, those lower chakras, seemingly at a different rhythm and pace from that high firing off sun fiery intuition up above. And as we connect with these, again, being in our Taurian field, as we're in our Taurian fields, feeling yourself, feeling your clairaudience from above, feeling the clairvoyance, feeling your claircognizance, your knowing, all of these energies deeply dropping in, allowing your mind to connect with each of these sensory abilities, the subtle energies, to breathe in and out, knowing that in this field, in this eclipse today, the gifts of it aren't so much going to come from the above and the fiery energy, but from your connections to nature, the magic of the birds and their song in the tree, the sound of the wind rustling the leaves, as all of the plants and all of the animals take on their oneness in their nature. Breathing in and out, feeling these deep connections as we root ourselves into the earth, opening to the intelligence and the wisdom of our environment as our environment is shifted, as the magnetic field and flow that keeps everything in sync and alignment on our planet experiences its slight interruption. And as we root ourselves into this energy, I invite you now to begin that journey up towards the sun, up towards that soul star chakra again, calling in the sun, calling in its eclipsed energy, conjunction Uranus, feeling yourself reaching up towards the stars, towards the sun, and noticing as you imagine it eclipsed, how it's as though you can see through a portal of energy behind it, a doorway that opens to the beyond, connecting as you glance through behind the curtain of the sun and feel the stream of light, of parts of the cosmos that typically don't make themselves known, streams, rivers of light from the stars, the stellar energies pouring through as though we've released the floodgates on a dam and new cosmic energy is flooding into our planet. And imagining that dam of water as those gates open, it's never peaceful or calm. It's always in a rush and a pour, so much pent up and backed up energy from beyond, seeking to get through. And as you imagine this pouring in, much like water charging down and past and through the banks of a river, allowing yourself to feel this swell of energy rising up, shifting, bringing newness and transformation and change. As you ride this current and these waves on your consciousness, if we were to go about our daily lives without paying attention, it may be that we're standing still and carried away, swept away by the torrent and the influx of new energy. And yet, as we choose to tune in, there is a river and a current here for each of us to ride, evolving us into new levels of consciousness, bathing us, initiating us into the new field. For as we have closed out and are closing out this chapter, coming out of Pisces, out of the goodness for the whole, shifting into the Aryan energies, there is opportunity for us as individuals here to claim not only the lessons we've learned, but these new energies, harness them, ride them into this next chapter and phase of this year, knowing that inspiration will come, that change will come, and that we'll be supported and guided in making these shifts. I invite you now to feel into these pieces of who you are that navigates this change. Awaken this archetype. Awakening this archetype, the archetype that knows how to read the energies and read the fields in the same way that the ancients did, feeling the solar system, describing the feelings and sensations they experienced as they tuned into it. As you feel out into the next days and weeks and year to come, welcoming new energy to clear out, to flush out the stagnation and redundancy that is no longer serving us. As you continue to breathe in and out, knowing that you are rested, you are ready, that the pieces of you that are ready to take on these shifts will be guided as you ride this current and this stream of consciousness from beyond. Go ahead and take a nice deep breath in. And I invite you to just up level the frequency and the vibration as though we're tuning in, fine tuning our minds just a degree tighter, a degree more focused into that stellar realm, as though we're gazing out from a spaceship, from the spaceship or the space station out to the window to the darkness beyond that most people will never see in their lives. Imagining yourself gazing out, seeing something for the first time. And in its distance, there is a light that as you focus in on that light is coming closer and closer and closer in until suddenly you're overwhelmed in its light. A beautiful, beautiful white light energy takes over, connecting to you, charging, and similar to being flooded out by the sun, but more focused in its intensity, in its charge. You can sense and you can feel the connection to beyond, the connection to something so much greater. You can feel this presence of light as you bask in it for the first time. Much like basking in the sun for the first time on a new beach or a new mountainside that you've climbed to the peak of, so too here, if we climbed to this peak in the cosmos, opened our hearts and our minds to receive this energy in a new way. Taking a nice deep breath in, settling, using all of your intuitive insight and skills to interpret, trusting, knowing that as you slowly make your way back into your body, that this light is captured in your heart, in your mind, that you've gotten the glimpse and the clarity from beyond. And again, tuning back in to the earth and your body, Taurus, taking us all the way into our bodies, beginning to see each and every cell within your body like a mirror, reflecting this light back to your mind. From the furthest reaches of your toes, to the top of your head, to your pinky fingers, to the back of your neck, every cell reflecting and mirroring back to your mind this energy. And so as we prepare to go about our day, being present to this eclipsed Uranian energy in an earthly realm, the opportunity is present for us to listen to the birds in the tree, the sound of the cars rolling by, the sound of the other creatures in nature, to spend time with the plants and take in their wisdom, to spend time with our feet on the ground, to feel the nuanced energies as they've shifted today, an uptick and an upswell of newness. For so too in this Taurian field did all of the earth and her creatures receive this newness, this influx of energy, of inspiration. And so as you go about your day and look into nature and receive the wisdom from the critters or the birds or the butterflies that fly by, look for this light in them. Close your eyes for just a moment and let yourself see the energy and the newness, trusting and knowing that its wisdom will come, will be revealed as we all drop in to this incredible, beautiful, blessed life. Taking a nice, deep, deep, deep breath in, starting where we began. Inhaling the intelligence, inhaling the sunshine, feeling in your body, allowing the subtle energies and the difference in the magnetic fields, trusting how it feels slightly different from where we began, to be part of this journey, to be one of your most primary gifts. May it be an incredibly beautiful, blessed weekend, beautiful day as we continue to make these shifts. Again, Pluto, our interrupter, shifting into retrograde, shifting into transformation and change. We have a little bit more of a ride to go for the next year, 18 months to 2 years, 2024. Utilizing all of our subtle energy skills in this initiatory period to be the leaders, trusting and knowing that the majority of the population is still asleep. At least 75% is still asleep to these subtle energies and wisdom and insight. You are the future. You are the leaders. Allow this wisdom and this guidance to lift your heart and your prayers and your vision for the future. May it be a beautiful weekend, a beautiful day. Namaste. So much love.